Golf outside the line, comes back in. Finns have to clear. Canada with a chance. A breakaway for Saulnier. Saulnier is in, shoots and scores! Jill Saulnier with her first Olympic goal.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our super series of chatting. Again, today I have a great interviewer. Nova Scotia born, Halifax. Let me introduce you to Jill Saulnier, a former Atlantic Selects player and also a former Raiders player in our program. How you doing today, Jill?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So how are things in Halifax?
Things are good. Same old as pretty much everybody, hanging in and keeping busy as much as we can, but
obviously a high, professional athlete like yourself. Are you staying fit? Are you doing things off ice to keep yourself in shape?
Yeah, I live in a condo, so I don't have, and they closed down our gym in the condo, which is too bad. So I actually bought a stationary bike on Amazon. So I've been just kind of playing on that. I bought some staggered weights. I have some with just one, some actually with a set. So just kind of been chipping away, and Hockey Canada set us up with the program, which is awesome. So we have that. And then we also have just kind of stuff that I find online, just some fun stuff and getting outside.
Awesome. I know I've been walking a lot, and just kind of my dog hates me right now because it's 4 or 5 walks a day. And so you played with our selects teams, and you also played in our Raiders program. How many years did you play in our Raiders program for?
So I think I was involved in the Raiders 2 or 3 years, and I was kind of in that wave of when it kind of first started too. So like you probably chatted with Blair, we were actually played together. And we had a pretty good core group there as well. I was with Alex Normore and Blair, Kara Power, and Jenna Pitts. So that was super fun. Crosley was there with us too. So we had a little fire dynamo team when we were like 12, 13 years old. But yeah, I had great times with the Raiders.
Because you guys must have went all over the place to find good competition with a team like that. Jeez.
Yeah, we did. I remember the New Brunswick team was pretty good. So what were they, the Stars?
Yep.
I think, yeah. So they were pretty good, and we actually went to Quebec for the Bulldog tournament, and we lost in the finals, and it was like the biggest devastation ever because we thought we were going all the way.
Well, I know, like myself playing, at a high level professional, you always remember your childhood memories, and I'm sure you have great memories as a child playing for the Halifax Hawks growing up, and mostly with boys hockey until about Bantam, right?
Yeah, like we were chatting about earlier, like I played with the boys all up through, but another reason why was because when I started, there weren't any girls playing. I think there was like 1 or 2 others in Halifax. So we definitely didn't have enough to make a team, let alone a line. So I chipped away with the boys until I was about Bantam, and then, they were sprouting up, and I was staying the same size. So it got a little bit tough, and I made the switch to girls, and I had a great time there too.
Yeah, obviously playing with the boys must have pushed you to be better each day and a little more challenging and things like that. So did you find that really helped you, or?
Yeah, I did. The boys were great, and when we were younger, they just treated me like another teammate. Didn't matter that I was a girl. And I'm still good buddies with a lot of the guys that I played with when we were, 12, 13 years old, which is pretty cool. So they always challenge me, always push me. Obviously, when guys are growing up, getting bigger and stronger, they're going to be, fast and quick. So that obviously made me, want to train harder and be better as well. So I could be a good teammate for them, and obviously hard to play against.
Yeah, obviously you must train like a beast to get to where you were. So that's awesome. So after the Hawks, you moved on to play prep school, right? You moved into the States? Yeah,
so I jumped around quite a bit after junior high, went through my high school years. And that was also because Hockey Canada had just started their U18 development program. So my goal was to get on that team, was to, make a point and try to get my name in there and in that player pool. So I went to Berkshire Prep School, repeated my grade 9 year down there. Had a great time down there. It was, if anyone's going the prep school route, like I hope my kids go to the prep school. Like it was the best year ever. But because of kind of the level of play at the time, it was great, but there was, a lot of women's hockey going on in Ontario. So there was a big pull for Canadians to play in Canada. So I did make the move and spent the rest of my high school in Ontario.
Now just they're going to cut back just a little bit, but like, you know, all the girls hockey now, obviously when you went through, there was no girls leagues. There was no things like that. The girls now have so much more opportunity here in Nova Scotia. They have a great Bantam league, great Pee Wee league, a great midget league. I think, you know, you can tell me a little bit more. I think it's okay for girls to stay home and play at that high level.
Oh, totally. And I get that question all the time. You know, people are like, would you have switched? Would you have not, you know, had you had it? And it's a hard answer because I didn't have the choice, you know. And when I go in the rinks now, or Blair and I go to our camps, like we see all these girls with the same logo on their jackets because there's these new Metro teams, these new, you know, Subway teams, all these different places that have a big, huge pool that they can actually pick a team, which is amazing. So, you know, now girls don't have to leave. You know, in no way did my family and me want to leave when I was 15 years old. Like that was not the priority, but it was just something I had to do because there weren't girls playing here.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's route's different, and I love the points where you say, you know, you don't have to leave, but you touched on it earlier, the passion, the motivation, the work ethic. That's the most important to get to where you were, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's with anything, right? Not even just sport, but, you know, anything that you kind of commit yourself to and you do, you need that motivation to get to the next level. Nothing's coming easy.
No, nothing comes easy, that's for sure. So after a couple years in Ontario, I think it was 3 years in Ontario, you became a Big Red to Cornell University. Now, that's an Ivy League school, and where you had some great years. I mean, Rookie of the Year, you're up for the Patty Kazmar Award. That was, you're in the top 3 for that. I mean, you had a great career there. Who was your coach? And maybe tell us a little bit of your memories in Cornell.
Yeah, the head coach there is Doug Dara, and he's still there actually. So he's obviously done an incredible job with that program, you know, building that essentially from the ground up. And he actually played there as well at Cornell. So that's kind of cool. You have Cornell blood in the coaching pool as well. But yeah, I had a great time at Cornell. I knew when I was selecting what university I wanted to go to, I went on some visits to a bunch of them, and I'm telling you, man, it's hard to pick a school. It really is. They like the rinks, the facilities, the programs, like they're all amazing. But something just clicked at Cornell. I think it was, you know, a mix of the girls that were there, a mix of the campus, a mix of the, you know, obviously the Ivy was a big pull for me, and that was something that was kind of important for me to get, you know, in my back pocket. So I think just a mix of everything, and the potential to become a better hockey player there as well was definitely appealing to me for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. I know coming out of Nova Scotia that there's always naysayers that say never will. And, you know, I feel like, especially as smaller players, hockey players, we always had to work a little bit harder. And, you know, did you have those obstacles in front of you when you were in Cornell and trying to get to be an elite player?
Oh, for sure. I mean, as I got older too, you know, while things seemed to be getting closer and that main goal of the Olympic dream became closer, you know, at the same time, the closer you get, the harder you have to work to get to it. So, you know, obviously being a smaller player, like you said too, you know, that just requires, you know, that extra bit of effort, that extra bit of, you know, focus on the things that I can control to become a better player. So I think it became kind of focusing on that and learning about myself and my own game and what I could tweak and had the power to tweak, because it wasn't my height, it wasn't my size. So, you know, so it was going to be my tenacity, my quick feet and agility and that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely a lot of days you wake up and you're like, I don't know if I can do it, but.
Yeah, I love I keep going back. You say some great points. You know, there's things that you can control, and it's always your work ethic, your attitude. Those are things that you can only control within yourself. And you know, those are great points. Then you moved on. You signed a contract with the Calgary Inferno. Mm-hmm. You spent 4 seasons with them, a Clarkson Cup champion.
Yep.
You know, well, how did the transition go from playing NCAA into the pro level?
So that's actually really funny. So when I was when I was leaving Cornell, I graduated there. I knew I had 2 years to play until the Olympic year. So my goal in those 2 years and my decision with where I was going to go was going to be where am I going to play to put myself in the best position to go to the Olympics, and nothing else. You know, unlike when I was picking a university, Obviously you had to think about, your school side of things, your player side of things, your coaching, your location. But when I was transferring, into pro, my only reason for choosing to go to Calgary was, where is the best place for me to make this Olympic dream happen? And it was Calgary. They had the facilities, they had the girls, they had the coaching, they had the resources, everything I needed. And I knew that being in that isolated environment was going to put me in the best position moving forward to achieve this goal.
So who were some of the people that were helping you to find out about these things and help you to achieve these goals? I mean, I had an agent. Did you have an agent? Did you have someone helping you, find out these things?
No, I didn't have an agent. For me and for a lot of my career, for all of my career, it's just been, word of mouth and support from the girls. Us just talking to each other, being, sharing our experiences, sharing our opinions on different things. So we didn't have an agent, obviously, because there's not a lot of money involved, clearly. So, and I feel like that's obviously a big foundation of having an agent or an agency relationship. But for a lot of us, it's not a big money pool. So it was just kind of word of mouth from the girls and where kind of the best area was to be.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then you got traded. So we'll get to where, the ultimate goal. We'll get there. But you did get traded, or you signed a new contract in Montreal. You played one season there. And then the league kind of shut down, and it's going through some tough times right now. And hopefully the NHL and everyone can step in and help to build up the girls' game again, because it's a great game. How was your transition from Calgary to Montreal? Like, I know I've been traded. It's, the girls, I'm sure, helped you out a ton.
Yeah. So the thing with the CWHL at the time was, obviously we're working towards getting more funding and, but you're not really pulled one way or other based on a financial contract. So you kind of do have a decision or a choice of where you want to play and where you think is going to be the best for you, for your game, for your lifestyle. So when I decided after the Olympics, I knew that, I was going to be in Calgary until the Olympic year. And then depending on how that year went, that was kind of my, pinnacle. How's this Olympic year going to go? And I knew that I'm such a homebody. I love the East Coast, and Montreal had, they had offered, such a great program. They have a great fan base and just some really, really good girls here. And I knew that it was also closer to home. So it definitely seemed like a no-brainer after the Olympics.
Oh, that's cool. You gave it away. You gave away my
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
No, but so let's talk a little bit about playing for your country. Obviously, you played a lot of different things, a lot of different tournaments for your country, which is unbelievable. You're a great ambassador of the game for girls from Nova Scotia. You played U18, you won a gold medal. You played in 4 World Championships, a 4 Nations Cup, you won a gold medal, and obviously you played in the Pyeongchang Olympic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, building up, I mean, U18s, that was probably your first goal. You said earlier in the interview, that was your first mindset. I got to make this team, and obviously you made it, and you won a gold medal.
Yeah. So, So, I mean, representing your country, that was my goal. I remember it actually started, which is crazy, was when the Worlds were here in 2004. I remember I saw the girls play, and it was when I actually saw them, like when I saw them in the Metro Center, which was at the time, when I saw them there, I saw them playing. I had always idolized them, but it's when you actually can, physically be there and see them and be in the same, arena, that's when it really became real to me. And that's when I decided that I really wanted to play for the national team. And, making that U18 team for the first time was huge. And we lost our very first year. I made it as an underager, which was really, really exciting. But the next year when we went in 2010 and we won that gold medal in April, it was just the craziest feeling. And it was one of those things that just makes you want to work hard so you can have that feeling again.
Oh, for sure. Who were some of the girls that you looked up to when you were growing up, some of the female players that you looked up to, or boys players growing up? Who were some of the players you looked up to?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a hockey family too, so obviously hockey's always been on the TV when I was growing up as well. And so a lot of the NHL guys I was huge fans of, like Saku Koivu, Marcus Naslund, like those were my favorite players growing up. But from the girls' side, like Cassie Campbell, obviously Wickenheiser was a huge name. There was just all kinds. Labonte, who was a goalie, but I still idolized, just because of the way that she carried herself. And and everything, which is crazy because now, you know, I have great relationships with all these people, and I would consider us friends, which is just wild to me because at one time they were all on my wall and posters and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of idols growing up, but you know, I'm sure Blair talked about this with you. No one was here, you know, no one was present, no one was accessible. So that's why I always tell people in the community, I'm like, if you need me for anything, or if you need us for anything, like reach out, like we're here, like we want to go into rinks, we want to put ourselves out there so girls can see it, because as much as you see something on TV, it still seems distant. But when you actually see it face to face and you can actually watch the girls and interact with us, then it just gets more real for them.
Yeah, I see you guys in the summer at camps and stuff like that. You do a great job of promoting the game and things like that. It's awesome. Matt Snaslin, a quick little forward like yourself. So yeah. I was a Montreal Canadian fan growing up too, but
oh yeah.
And then you got to play in Montreal, so that's great. So let's talk a little bit about the Olympics. Like that's the ultimate in female sports, and to have not only yourself, two maritime girls from Nova Scotia on the same team, like that's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, your Olympic dream is, you know, it's one of those things where it's emotional to talk about, because the day we found that out, it was like the most stress relieving moment ever. Just because it felt like not only a year of training for it, it felt like, you know, 25 years of training for it. So to be able to do that and make it with Blair, it was just so special. And then to be able to actually go after and, you know, turn our game faces back on and try to win a gold medal. It was a pretty special experience.
Yeah, the gold medal is, you know, hopefully that's coming to us in the next couple of years, and we got to get by those pesky United States of America.
I know, man.
I talked to Blair about this, and you know, they have our number right now, and Blair talked about these a set of twins on the team that really get under her skin and tick her off. Like, how about yourself? Do you have anybody on that other side that just really just ticks you off and just craves you? You must have played against some of them in Cornell.
Yeah, I would. You know what? I would actually say the same. The twins are really good. They're really skilled, the Lamoureux twins. But man, they do get under your skin, right? They're pretty rough, and I mean, they're just goal oriented, right? They want something, they do whatever they can to get it. So they're definitely two that I think drive people a little mad sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, the competitive side of professional hockey players, you know, yourself is awesome. I got to read this. I found this on the internet, and I love this comment. It's your motto. The will to win must overcome the fear of losing. You know, that is that something that you live by, or just something that just drives you, that you love to see that and love to hear that and say that?
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool quote. My grandfather actually said that to me one time when he was going through some medical challenges, and you know, he was fighting with, you know, just kind of getting back on his feet, and he mentioned that quote to me, and that was one that he lived by, and I just kind of jotted it down because I thought that was really cool, and yeah, it's definitely something that I live by for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on and spending 10, 15 minutes with us. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the young female players, even the male players out there? Like I said, you're a great ambassador to our game, great maritimer. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the kids out here?
Yeah, I mean, I think just mainly just keep going for it. You know, no dream is too big. I know that, you know, when you're a young minor hockey player and you see us or you see people on TV, NHL guys, or, you know, or girls at the Olympics, it seems so far away, and it is a challenge to get there. But, you know, Blair and I were just very regular minor hockey players that grew up loving the game. And, you know, we didn't have this extra crazy firepower in us. We just loved it that much, and was willing to put the work in. So I think it's important for everybody, guys and girls, to just know that if you're willing to put it in and you love it, then chances are it happening are getting closer and closer for sure.
Oh, that's great. Listen, Jill, I really appreciate you coming on. Hard work pays off, and you put in a lot of hard work, and obviously went over your great career. And good luck in the future. I know things that you should be playing right now, right here in Halifax and Truro, another upsetting thing. But hopefully next year it's back, and you're on that team, and we're all out there cheering you on.
Yeah, that's the goal for sure.
Yeah, well, stay safe, and really appreciate you coming on. Thanks, Jill.
All right. Thanks, Johnny. Take care.